Alexis vlog, bitches! I hate you! Look at that bone! Look at him!
Oh, I thought you were pointing at us. I was like,
no! Look at him!
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
You ready?
Yeah. Hand!
Your hand? Got you.
No, come closer.
Why?
Because I'm gonna be like this.
I'm right here. I can reach. I can reach.
I'll show you mine. I got mine on the front.
Only one time. You ain't gotta do it again.
How's it? Ooh. Okay, how bad is it? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it?
Oh, I don't know what 10 feels like.
Oh!
It feels like a broken, rusty nail.
Oh!
Magic. Absolute magic.
Oh shit.
Don't have to go to Disney World to find magic.
You haven't been doing it.
Everybody stop. I'm laminating. I feel like light, like symphony music should be playing. It's always so warm when you get done. So satisfying. Or really ugly. After, absolutely beautiful, just like me.
Oh man, it's gonna be very interesting. Currently using a paper towel roll to hold my phone up right now to record this. For those of you who follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, you would have saw that I recently shared a video that Laura Jean came out with. She was talking about military relationships and how difficult they can be and why most of them don't work out. It's not a lie. More than 60% of military to civilian relationships do not work out. It's just a plain simple fact. And the reason being, civilians just don't understand. And this video is probably gonna hurt a lot of feelings. That's fine. Feelings probably need to get hurt. For those of you who are watching, I'm not here to, you know, I'm not targeting anyone. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. That's not what this is at all. I'm just here to talk about my experiences, not only mine. I have a lot of friends who have gone through and is going through the same thing right now. It's a very difficult time for all of us, and we've all been there for each other, because no one really understands military besides military. It's just a plain simple thing, because what most civilians fail to realize is that we deal with a lot of stuff, and it's hard for us to talk about it, whether it be the fact that it's classified, the fact that we can't put it into words where you understand it, you don't really get it, and it's a different level of stress. If you Google the top 10 most stressful jobs in the United States, enlisted military personnel come up first. This is just a difficult topic to talk about anyways. I'm gonna start off with my experience. And I'm not gonna talk about just relationships. I'm gonna talk about, you know, family as well, because it's difficult for a parent or grandparent or a cousin or any of your family members to, you know, wrap their head around, why does my family member, my blood, have to go out and do these crazy things? They have to go here, they have to go there, they have to deal with this, and they can't tell us about it. We're like family, we're supposed to be the first ones they talk about. It's hard for us to talk about these things that we do. on a daily because one, you don't understand, two, it's classified shit. It's stuff that we don't need you to know in some cases. My experience, I went through BMT with this person. I told myself that I was going to make it work no matter what. You can sit there and tell yourself that all you want to. You can sit there and put in as much effort as you want to. But in the end, if that person doesn't want to be in that relationship with you anymore and can't handle it, then you just have to let it go. And that's fine. You can't force anyone to love you. You can't, and we're gonna talk about something else. Anyways, when it comes to a relationship with someone else, with your significant other, when it comes to that, don't hold on to it. I'm just gonna tell you, like, straight up, don't hold on to the fact that y'all are gonna make it, because it's difficult. Coming home late from 12-hour shifts and your significant other is waiting for that text and is always like, they need that reassurance because they're so used to you texting them and calling them and being with them all the time back home. Now you're in a different place and now they don't understand why you can't text them every hour on the hour like you used to. You can't call them whenever you wanted to. You can't do these things anymore. They don't understand it. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know what you do outside of work, because all you do, you go to work, you deal with all these stressors, you come home, and if you try to talk about it with them, you have to explain everything to them, and you're already to the point of like exhaustion where you just want to go to bed. And that can get frustrating for a civilian. Like, I get it. That can get frustrating because they just want to know. And you just don't have the energy, you don't have the time. You're tired. You're just tired all the time. You come home, you sleep, get up, go to work the next day, and it's like a cycle you get into, and you're doing your job. I'm not hating on the military. Like, this is not a video. This video is not meant to, bash the military in any way, because I love my job. I love the people that I work with, and I love everything about my job and everything that I've been through. I am so blessed for the people who are around me and all the experiences that I had. So, with that being said, it's hard. It's just hard to come home and explain to them, oh yeah, I talked to, the senior NCO, and they're like, well, what does that mean? Oh yeah, we had to take inventory of like all of this gear. You try to explain as much of it to them as you can, but they just don't get it. Like, it's understandable why it would get very tiring very quickly. When you're done with the work week, all you want to do is either stay in your dorm and sleep, or go out and have fun and get all that anger and that built up, stress, like get it all out of your system. It can be a little shaky for your significant other because they want to be there with you. They want to experience those things with you. And when you like go out with your friends and stuff like that, they're at home doing whatever they do, and they just see you posting on your story and everything else. They're like, well, what really are you doing away from me? And that can go both ways. It's not just them. It's also like for us. Well, I don't know what you're doing back home, and it can get very tiring very easily, but you can't expect to just stay in your room all the time trying to stay loyal to, your significant other. It gets very tiring and very old really, really quickly. Let me see. That's where most arguments arise. It's just hard for them to wrap their head around it. I'm gonna throw this out there, because there ends up being so many arguments. The two parties tend to end things because they just want to be happy again. And maybe being happy for both of you is just having someone that's actually physically there for you all the time, which is understandable in the civilian world, because when y'all met, it's easier for you to just be down the road from them. At least being in the same town within a 30-mile radius from them, it's easier that way than it is 800 miles away or 1,000 miles away or in a different country. It's a lot easier when you're just closer, when you know that you can just drive to them. And if you got in an argument, it's easier for you to just go to their house and meet them, or just sit in the car and talk about it and then hug each other and tell each other it'll be okay, it's not the same over the phone. It can get really heartbreaking, and it can get really shaky, and it can get really bad really fast. I'm gonna give you a little input from our side. Most people who are watching my videos are on the civilian sector. We are very misunderstood. The country looks to us to be the strong ones all the time. And it's very difficult whenever you have a military service member is going through not only having to deal with the stressors at work, but also having to deal with stressors back home, having to worry about, you know, what's going on back home. You don't know like what's gonna go down next. You don't know what to expect the next day. You're on call 24/7. You know, you hear a siren in the middle of the night and you have to be ready to like get up, get dressed, be ready, on call all the time. Even when we're on leave, like if we get a phone call that says, hey, I need you to come back to base now, we have this emergency, you have to. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't say, oh, well, I'm on vacation, get somebody up. No, like, pack your shit up. You gotta leave home, you gotta get back to base. It's just very... I feel like I'm overusing the word stressful. Very demanding. It's very demanding. That's a good word. It's very demanding. And what most people don't understand is that we can't talk about what's going on because we have to be the strong ones. We can't show our emotions. We can't, you know, have these outbursts at work. We can't just walk out and say, you know what, I quit. We can't just do that. We can't. We have to keep our military bearing. We have to keep our composure. We have to be the strong ones, because when shit goes down, when things go down in the world, it's us. It's our asses that are out there. And not even just military members, like EMS, police officers, firefighters, like all the first responders out there would understand this video too, because they're on call 24/7. We're on call 24/7. So when things go down, we got to do it. It's what keeps you at home. You have that security and that safety where you can sleep at night and think, oh yeah, everything's going to be fine in the morning because it's being taken care of, you know? But yeah, as far as family members go with military members, I'm begging y'all, please, 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 don't be upset. Don't cry for us. Don't be upset when we have to go. When we're deployed or we're out here, we gotta do what we gotta do. Don't be upset. Don't cry for us, because that makes it harder for us, honestly. We know that you love us. We know that you care about us. Trust me, we know. We sit up at night thinking about it all the time. We love you too. We do. I miss my family all the time, and like I try to call as much as I can, but just things get in the way, and like work gets in the way, and like you just don't have time. It makes it harder for us to see you all upset. If I can give one piece of advice to family members, don't cry when we're boarding that plane. Don't cry. I get that it can be really upsetting. It is definitely upsetting for us too. We just want to see you happy, honestly. So to come back to the whole relationship aspect with your significant other, I'm going to reiterate on that. Like I said, most relationships, if you're dating a person, if you're, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, whatever your preference is, more than half the time, it doesn't work. And it won't work unless you two get married. Like I said before, it's just a lot easier if you could just see your significant other every day. You can come home and you can see that face. You can feel their love, their presence there, and you just know that you have something to come home to. Civilians just don't understand the things that we go through in a day, and it makes it harder for us when we have to come home and there's no one here. There's no one here to hold you, to hug you, to tell you that I love you, it'll be okay. I know you're trying your hardest. I know you're trying your best, and it's okay. And you can cry and you can let this all out, and then you can go to work the next day and be fine. It's hard. It's hard for us. It really is. And I know y'all probably heard it more than multiple times from us. Like, yeah, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. And my friend I work with, her significant other back home, they made a joke out of it where, oh, they said, oh yeah, like I know I don't get it and da 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 da. Like, no, like you just don't get it, and it's not okay to make a joke about it because you hear it a bunch of times. We don't expect you to understand. We just expect you to be patient with us. If you really truly loved us, keep that patience and like just know that we're trying. Just know that we're trying to explain to the best of our abilities. It makes it a lot easier when you are married, honestly, because you get to come home and they're with you all the time. You see the people you work with, they're like in and out of the base all the time. They understand the rank structure and all this other stuff because they've been with you for a while. They've lived there with you. They see it all. They see it on the daily. It's just a lot easier for them to understand where you're coming from. Perfect timing. Here's Joseph. You want to do me a favor?
What?
You want to hand me my water?
Ah!
Please.
Why it's empty?
You smell like the clinic.
Thanks.
But give your opinion on military relationships.
They suck.
They suck.
I was gonna say civilians don't understand what we even do. It's just that simple. It's like you'll be jodied.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what jodied is,
Jody refers to a man with whom a serviceman, wife, girlfriend cheats while they are deployed. But not only that, a Jody could be the same for a female. So.
It could be anyone. Not even while they're deployed, just while they're away. And a lot of us military members, that happens to us. More than half the time that happens to us. Because the person back home just wants someone there. They want that feeling. They want that connection. They want that attention with someone else who's actually there to show it to them. And I can't blame them. But honestly, like, it hurts. If you are that low to cheat on someone who is out here, who is fighting for your freedom, who is out here like on the line all the time, on call 24/7, so you just want someone else there to have that attention, to have that connection with. I get it to a point, but that's pretty low and it hurts. And it happens to a lot of us.
The reason why like people like that are in the military fight with their civilian spouse, especially when they're away, is just the sole fact of they don't understand military life yet. They can hear about it, read about it, this, that, and the other, but I feel like nobody really understands. Not only get me wrong, it's not like terrible here and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is fun, but when it comes to relationships, it's all on a whole different ballpark.
And that just adds another stress factor to the millions of things that we already deal with every day. When you're with someone and you put in that effort and you think they're worth it, like, go for it. Go all out for it. If you honestly think that you're gonna marry them, do it. Just go ahead and do it. If you're single and watching this and wanting to join the military, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, we're not bashing the military life. We're not, because I love my job. You like your job? I love my job, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Really, the main struggle is just a relationship, whether you're close or far away. It's just that simple.
I don't recommend long distance relationships at all.
If I had to guess, realistically, 80% of long distance relationships, like when you're a new person in the military, I feel like 80% is gonna fail.
First term airmen who are at their new base and they come in already, in a relationship and they're trying to make long distance work, it's hard and it's gonna fail more than half the time. Like Joseph said, it's about 80%. What are you doing?
I want a damn chair!
Oh my God. You disgust me. Just don't give a fuck. No, me either. I guess I'm gonna wrap this video up. I don't even know if it's gonna be advice or if it's just gonna be, our opinions. Do you have anything to add?
Nah.
No.
I'm Gucci fam.
Yep. Anyways, I apologize for not posting a vlog last weekend. It's been really busy and really hectic at the shop. I hope this video makes up for it though. So I guess I'll see y'all next weekend.